Hi, I'm Jamil Tabasi with Flint Hills Spas and Pools in Wichita, Kansas. You can come see us at 6730 West Kellogg or shop us online at flinthillspas.com. And I'm going to talk today about 5 factors that you should think about when considering or shopping for an above-ground pool. So the first factor that you'll want to think about is the size of the pool. You'll want to think about things like how many people are going to be using it, the size of your family, how many friends are you going to have over, that type of thing. You'll want to go out and measure your yard, maybe even draw some diagrams of the yard and draw in a pool and see how that's going to fit. You'll want to think about round versus oval. Those are your 2 main sizes. And other things like do you one day want to put a deck around the pool or something like that? So in such a case, you'd want to allow room for something like that. The second factor would be chlorine versus salt systems. We find that most people that come in shopping for above ground pools automatically want salt. And frankly, they're not always sure why. They just know, they think they know they want salt. One myth that is out there about salt is that when you're on a salt system, it's not chlorine. And the fact is, a salt system is still chlorine. It's converting salt into chlorine. Typically, the chlorine levels are lower than in a straight chlorine pool. But we find that salt systems or salt pools are a little bit better for your skin, a little bit easier on the skin, and in my personal experience, having used both in my pool, a little bit easier to take care of. On the other hand, salt systems and salt pools are a little more expensive. You're typically getting a resin-coated pool versus a steel pool. So there's some pros and cons you have to think about, and your dealer can help you think through those. The third factor thing to think about would be your filtration system. And there are 3 main kinds of filters that you can get: a sand filter, a cartridge filter, or one that runs with diatomaceous earth. And you'll want to research those before you shop. In a later episode, we'll talk a little bit about those type of filter systems in more detail, but do a little research on that before you shop. The fourth important point is to, before you shop, is learn about the liner options that you have, and things like the difference between an overlap liner where they literally overlap over the pool versus a beaded liner, which is a liner that fits into a track under the top rail of the pool. You'll want to consider the thickness. Sometimes you'll hear the term gauge, or how many millimeters the pool liner is. And so these are some of the things that you want to think about. A heavier liner is likely going to last you longer. Of course, it's going to be a little more expensive, so you'll want to think through that. And the last thing to think about is, who can you trust? You're going to want to find a reputable dealer and someone that you can trust to educate you and present different options and help you think about, like I said, the different pros and cons to the options, deliver you the pool you want, organize the installation, all of those kind of things. We've talked about, and this is kind of just scratching the surface, but talked about a number of different factors, which if you've never looked into this type of product can be confusing. So you want to find someone that has knowledge and experience and that you can trust to help you think through all these and get the answers. So these are 5 things to think about as you're shopping for and thinking about an above ground pool. Again, I'm Jamil Tabasi with Flint Hills Spas and Pools in Wichita, Kansas, and you can come learn about above ground pools at 6730 West Kellogg or look online at flinthillspas.com.